Hey everyone, in this video I'm doing another design tutorial. I'm going to show you how I made this vintage illustration t-shirt design right here using AI and Kittle. So let's get into ChatGPT right now, and I'm going to show you the prompt that I use for this vintage illustration, and then we're going to go into Kittle and I'll show you how to lay it all out. Alright, so here I am on ChatGPT, chatgpt.com, and I use Sticker Wiz right here, but I'm going to show you what I did. So you can see I've done a lot since then. And this is the one right here, Vintage Woman Gardening. And all I did was a black and white vintage illustration of a woman gardening, and it picked this one, and that's the one I did. And I tried it in a different style, but this is the one I ultimately did. What I want you to see though is when I click on here and I click on this is actually the prompt that ChatGPT used. So I'm gonna copy this right here, and I could have used Kittle to do this because Kittle has AI as well. But I decided not to, just because I've been using ChatGPT for all my design with Detour. So that's the main reason why I used ChatGPT, is because I'm just testing it out and trying different things with ChatGPT. The thing you want to do once you have this though is to download this, hit save, and it's going to download it. So I'm going to hit save right here. You can see it downloads to my downloads folder. And we're going to take this download, which is 1024 by 1024, but it's black and white. So I'm going to be able to use the vectorizer tool in Kittle to do this, to change the color and knock out the white. I'm going to use a background remover as well to knock out the white. Okay, so now I'm here in Kittle. You can see the two that I did. I also did it in a dark version. So let me show you. I'm going to do another artboard here. So this right here is to make an artboard like that. I can also make sure that it's the right size, so 4500 by 5400, boom. All right, so first things first is we're gonna drag in the art that we did. But before we do that, actually, let's try and see what AI would have done if I just used Kittle. Now, Kittle has its own AI here, so I'm gonna do that prompt that I saved. Boom, right, remember? A black and white vintage illustration. Now Kittle also has image styles, so let's go to this. I'm going to show all, and they have vector art, vintage drawing. So I'm going to click that one. I think that's probably the closest, and we're going to hit generate. Let's do that, and let's see what it would have come up with instead of this one. So this is the ChatGPT, and we're waiting for it to go here. It's only going to take a little while. I'm going to move this around so we can see. It should plop it in here in the artboard that we're using. Hopefully it knows that I'm using this artboard. Click on it here. Boom. So this is what Kittle would have gave me. Kind of similar actually, but I like the layout of this one because it's more open instead of having it in the box. So we're going to keep this one, and that's why you'd want to try different AIs to see which one's different. It's all personal taste. I mean, some people might want to use this one and some people like this one. So I'm going to take this one out. I'm going to bring in the download. So I'm not going to just use this one, which I already did some things to. You can see I colored it. But I'm going to bring in the download. It downloads it as a WEBP. Let's see if it works here. Yes, it does. And I'm going to size it up here. So you don't actually want to just size it up like this. You're going to want to vectorize it. And since I'm vectorizing it anyway, it's going to be okay. So first things first, I'm going to do, and you can upscale it as well if you wanted to just use the PNG, but we're going to vectorize it. But first, do the AI background remover. Boom, let's see what happens. Okay, you can see it's totally gone. The background's gone. And one way to test it is to come in here and change the fill to something else. There you go. You can see it's just black, right? And we're going to do the image vectorizer with just one color, right? And hit that. This is what's so cool about Kittle. It can do these things and it's perfect. Look at that. And if we zoom in now, this is all vector. So if I zoom in here, each one of these things is a big vector. So we don't have to worry about pixelation because it's not pixels anymore. And we can change the color. So you can see the color that I grabbed here. It's going to just be on here. So I'm going to, instead of do that, I'm going to pick this color right here. And we want this on a white background. So I'm going to change the background to this. Boom. And that's how I did it. So the next thing is just to add some text. So I used this text right here. You can see Black River. So let's just do that. I'm gonna come in here, hit, and I think I used, did I use one of these? You could have used any one of these too, and I think this is Black River right here, so let's try this. So I believe we can just use this one. I'm gonna do this, hit that, and make sure it goes all the way up so I can grab it. I'm not seeing the color, so I'm not sure where it went. I think it's putting it on a different artboard maybe. Okay, let's move all of it. There it is. Sometimes that happens. Okay, so I believe this was, let me ungroup these now. I'm gonna hit right click and ungroup, or I could have hit Command G, I guess. And is this, oh, this is Sign Master. This isn't that one, but it does have the same arc. So let me change it to, and we could have kept it as Sign Master. Let's see what it looks like with Sign Master. Actually, gardening. Boom. Oh, and let's make this a big G. Let's see how to do it. Big G. Hey, that's kind of cool. I kind of like that one. It's almost the same, but if we wanted to do Black River, let's see what it would look like. So that was Sign Master. Black River is that, which is kind of cool too. So you can use any one of those, and then I'm gonna pick the same color that we did right there. All right, getting it together. Let's remove these guys. Again, you can use any font you want, but I'm just showing you which font I used, and it probably would have been cool to use that font, that little one right there. But this one that I use is called Adventure 05, I believe. Is that what it is? Yeah, so let's just do this headline right here. And I can make it bigger like this. And Adventure 05, there we go. And I can just type in, I just love. Easy enough. Boom. And then I put this funny saying down here because on one line, and let's make this smaller. And then holding down Option and dragging to make a copy. Murder is wrong. So one thing I did different that you may not know is you can see I kind of spaced it out a little bit. You can see these are a little closer, the letters. And the way you can do that is right here, this AV letter spacing. Double click on all of it, and you can click on it and make it more. Let's see what this one is at. This one's at 146. So if I did 146 and brought this all the way to the edges like that, so it's kind of centered. You can see it's about the same. Is that the same size? Let's see, 324, I used 308, so it's a little bigger. But anyway, you get the idea. So there we go. I would change all of these to the same color that I'm using, so I can easily come in here and change it to that darker, kind of like a teal color. Boom. Boom. And one last thing, now you can play around with the letter spacing and the width and whatever the size. I like to just bring this to the edge here so we know it's centered, and maybe play around with the size here. 310. Oh, that's way too small. Oh, I did 210. 325. Right? And then, oh, I had these stars, so I added this element. So I go to Elements. Yes, it was Ornaments, Spot Ornaments, and you can see that just those stars here. Show all, and I just picked these stars and made them smaller. just like that. Color them the same color. Boom, and then just put them wherever you want. I'm holding down Option and dragging. And the last thing that I did is texture. So I added textures above it. I think I did this one. Let's see. Oh, the burn's not working. I do alpha mask and clip content. Oh, which one did I use? That one's not that much. Maybe I need to do a thicker one. Oh, there we go. I used the first one, this grunge texture, and right on top. So that just makes it look even more vintage, right? We got the vintage illustration and the vintage. So use that vintage illustration as part of your AI in here. I'm very curious on what it would have done with if I picked a different style. Let's see. Instead of picking that, what if I picked vector art? If it would have been okay. So let's try that and see. So here is what AI gave me for the other vintage illustration. Interesting. Has that box around it, and that, I mean, that could have worked too, right? Like if we took this out, put that here, change this, we would have to take that in here. Gardening. That gives it a different feel, right? And let's see. So this is a illustration. Is it already a vector? I think it's already a vector, so I don't have to do all the things that I said that I was doing with the other one, and boom. Pretty cool. I wouldn't put these stars in it because there's no need. But that may be how yours looks, right? And of course, don't just copy the words. You're gonna wanna, do something else. Maybe something else besides gardening or whatever it is. But there's another vintage illustration design just made in Kittle with everything Kittle and not ChatGPT. So different styles. Try out that vintage illustration style. Keep playing with it in the way that you want it to work and come up with something. I think this is a cool style that not a lot of people are using, but it kind of gives it that old-timey feel, and I think that can do really well because it stands out from everybody else who's doing something a little more modern. So there you go. That's my design tutorial for vintage illustration. Hopefully you like it. Let me know in the comments if you're planning on using some vintage illustration. I plan to do more tutorials, design tutorials for t-shirts with a lot of other design with detour shirt designs. Let me know in the comments if there's one that you've seen recently that you want me to do a design tutorial for. That'd be great. I'll put my latest design tutorial right here so you can see that video as well to see how I made something else and designed with Detour. Thanks again for watching, and as always guys, keep creating and keep learning. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.